Welcome back and let's analyze our data. The data file shows the coded variables x1 and x2, the natural variables time and temperature, our response y, the yield, and two other columns that we are not going to use right now. We are going to start our analysis by loading the RSM library. Then we are going to assign the relationship between the coded and the natural variables using the scoded data function, and then we are going to check the file structure. We have 13 observations of 7 variables. All variables are numeric, and in the end we have the relationship between the coded and the natural variables x1 and time and x2 and temperature. The next step is to run the second-order regression model using the RSM function. We can build a second-order model using the command SO, which stands for second order and returns the complete model. Alternatively, we can build the second-order model by its parts by using the FO command for the first-order linear model, the TWI for the two-way interaction terms, and the PQ, pure quadratic, for the quadratic terms. Let's run the ladder. The result shows that both linear terms are significant, as well as both quadratic terms. The second-order model has also a very high R-squared and a low p-value, and the lack of fit was not significant. Let's polish the model by removing the interaction term that was not significant. We do it by removing the TWI term from the model. The new result shows that all regression coefficients are now significant. The model still has a higher squared, and the p-value is lower than the one from the previous model. Moreover, the lack of fit was not significant. Let's now focus on the visualization of the results. For the visualization of the results, we are going to build both the contour and the perspective plots for the yield with the time x1 and the temperature x2. The resulting plots are quite different from the ones that we have been analyzing for linear models and interactions. Quadratic models can have a maximum, a minimum, or saddle points. In this case, the plots show that the reaction presents a set of conditions, a specific combination of time and temperature that results in the maximum yield. The precise determination of the maximum point uses the response surface equation. The maximum condition, if it exists, will be the set of x1 and x2 for which the partial derivatives delta y delta x1 and delta y delta x2 are 0. It is called the stationary point. Fortunately, we don't need to derive the equation by ourselves. R does it for us. We can see the stationary point coordinates both in coded and natural variables in the RSM output. In this example, the maximum yield occurs at 86.8 minutes and 176.3 degrees Celsius. So this last experimental design has led us to the optimized conditions for the reaction yield. The last question is, how much is the maximum predicted yield? We can use the predict function to calculate it. First, we are going to create a data frame called maxed with the coded coordinates of the stationary point, and then use the predict function to calculate the response of the model Y for the maxed data frame. Let's run it. the predicted yield is 80.2%. Now, one interesting follow-up is to run the experiment using the predicted optimized conditions to verify the model's prediction.